Hi everybody, Jennifer Blevins-Smith with Integral Clinic Solutions, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Navigating the Business of Medicine. Today I am going to talk about COVID services post-PHE. There are a lot of changes that have come down the pipeline since the PHE ended in May. One of the biggest things besides telehealth is COVID testing, COVID office visits, COVID injections, and those services all related to COVID and how they're being covered by insurances. In case you're not aware, and if you are someone like primary care, urgent care, general practice, etc., that will be treating and seeing patients for possible COVID infections in the future, you need to be aware of this. Please be mindful that what I'm going to talk about could be different payer to payer. So you need to check with each insurance in which you bill to find out what their new policies are regarding patients who are seen for COVID. Some practices had ordered rapid testing machines for COVID, so they would be able to analyze, in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and give you results that were required for traveling or to enter events and stuff like that. And it would also test for, I think, RSV and flu as well, and you could choose which tests you wanted to run off of the swab. Well, my understanding is those are probably not going to be covered anymore by insurance companies, and anything that needs testing for COVID other than the rapid COVID, that's just like the rapid flu or the rapid strep that you would do, where you swab and you put it in the little holder and then you drop some liquid on it and it gives you the results in like 3 minutes, 5 minutes or whatever. Anything other than that needs to go to a lab company with a CLIA certificate in order for it to be covered. They're no longer going to cover it with a CLIA waiver, is my understanding. Again, I'm just putting this out there because there's so many differences that have gone into effect payer to payer. You want to make sure you're checking with your insurances, because you don't want to be offering services that isn't covered and it comes back denied and then you can't bill the patient. So that stuff can be really expensive. It can be out-of-pocket expenses you can't afford, and I just want to put it out there because it has changed since the PHE ended. Same thing is with vaccines and with COVID visits. They used to all be covered and they didn't get applied to patient cost shares, but they do now. It was a little hit or miss before the PHE ended of which insurances were already going back to the old way of applying it to deductibles and co-pays and co-insurances, but for sure now all payers after the PHE ended, it's treated like any other visit, any other services, whether they're covered or not under the patient's benefits and eligibility. So it's really important that you're checking that if you're going to be seeing patients. And also you want to educate patients to let them know that they are probably going to be billed or expected to pay, unlike other times when they may have been seen in the past for anything COVID or COVID suspected related. This is a really big change, especially after a few years of people being able to be seen when they're concerned about having COVID and not having to pay, and now going into the doctor concerned they have COVID, it turns out to be something else, but they have to pay and they're going to be like, whoa, why did I get billed for this? I've never been billed before. And that all comes down to educating your patients, your staff, and yourself so that you know what's going on out there. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that in the comment section below. If you have experience with this, if you've had some upset patients or confusion in your own practice because of these changes, I would love to hear from you. So leave that in the comments as well. Smash the thumbs up button if today's video was helpful, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate the support. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.